You're gonna have to.
All right, y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let me. Hold on. All right. Here today to discuss this topic with me is the owners of Confess It, Calandra Jones and Cheryl Mitchell. How y'all doing today?
Doing good, doing well.
How you doing today, Calandra?
I'm doing pretty amazing. No complaints.
Okay. I watched y'all show Confess It on Friday night, and it was very, very interesting because y'all were talking about the stimulus checks, and one of you all friends has, I guess, 4 or 5 kids, and apparently they let someone else claim their kids. So the discussion was around, since the stimulus checks will go to the person who filed the kids on their taxes, should they give the parent half of the money or all of the money? Right? So can one of you really just rediscuss that real fast for the audience?
So the scenario is a lady, she has 7 kids. And, you know, on the taxes, I think the max you can file on there to get something back is, I think it's 3 kids. So she has a couple people filing the other kids. But she wants, and she only gets 20% of what they get when they file the kids, because she doesn't work. So I guess she
just so we clear, I mean, letting other people file your kids is kind of illegal though, right?
It's not kind of, it is illegal. It's 100% illegal.
Okay, so it's not like she can call the police or something. Okay.
Right. She can't do anything. So she gets 20% during normal tax season. And so now with this, she wants the people who filed her kids to give her all of the money. And their argument was, you know, the agreement was, you get 20% during tax season. We ain't never talk about this. So technically I don't have to give you anything. She wants to get it all. So our discussion was, what do you guys think is fair?
And what was your take on it, Calandra?
My take on it was, to be fair, she should give her a portion of that money, because this lady does have 7 kids. It doesn't necessarily have to be 50%, but give her something to help, help her and her kids. Now, that's the nice part of me saying that. That's the person with, the good conscience. She needs to give her something. But in all actuality, this whole thing is illegal. It's, so that person doesn't have to give her a dime. But to be a good human being and realize, hey, this lady does have a lot of kids, let me break her off something. That would, for me, that would be the right thing to do. Break me off, it don't have to be half, maybe 40%, 30%, but give her something. That's just my take.
So in the scenario though, is it a family member or is it somebody outside of the family, or do you all know?
It's outside of the family, so they don't have any ties. They're not friends. They're not cool. It's just once a year, hey, you know the drill. This is just a business transaction.
Yeah, and again, it's illegal, true indeed. But this is what a lot of people who are living in the poverty, in a poverty income bracket, do in order to I wouldn't say a lot, I'll say a few, do in order to survive. Again, with 7 kids, I have 2. I can only imagine 7. During this quarantine, my 2 eating me out of house and home. But so after watching you all show, I've seen this scenario on Facebook doing some of my friends, a lot of people are talking about it, and I didn't realize it was a thing until, until then. So with all of the checks hitting today, I also saw that some of the tax preparers, some people who went and got a loan on their taxes, their stimulus went to their tax preparer. Have you all heard that?
So I've that, and I've seen that yeah, you know, you go to the smaller companies and you probably got a loan or half of it or whatever, and you then had to go there to pick up your check so they can get their amount out first. So all those people are getting everybody's stimulus check for them and their kids, but there's no contract in place. So I mean, technically, I don't even think that they even have to give them that money. It's unethical, and you're probably not going to have business next year, but I don't think that they even have to. And a lot of them in reality are not going to give up that money.
So let me make sure I got this straight. Sorry to cut you off, Cheryl. So if with the stimulus check, that money, if you know you borrow from the tax or wherever, you have to pay that money back, like they're taking the stimulus check. It's not going to the people.
Like, say if you went to a small, maybe like a little office, and
right,
you know, a lot of them were offering, hey, we'll give you half immediately, or you know, we'll give you $2,000 right after you file, stuff like that. And then they tell you to come back in and pick up your check. What they did is they had their amount coming out of the check. Well, they had the check solely coming to them. They took their portion out, and then they wrote them a check to give them the difference. So now the stimulus checks are going to them. It's going to wherever you had your money go when you filed your taxes.
Got it. Okay.
So it's a lot of people I saw on Facebook that are sick because their checks didn't hit their deposit. Their deposit didn't hit their accounts, but it went to their tax preparer, right? So now they got to go through the process of trying to get that money back from the tax preparer. And
okay.
You know, again, we are in an unprecedented time. This has never happened before, as far as a stimulus and getting them back this fast, because this is super quick. Like back in 2008, it took months, but this is super fast. You know,
but I think it's a good thing that this happened right now, though, because it's a lot of phony stuff that goes on during tax time. And, you know, people are living in survival mode, so they do what they need to do right then to get money quickly, all that type of stuff. So you go to any tax preparer, you have people who just file your kids, you do stuff willy-nilly out of survival. And now this is going to get people to think like, no, I got to think about the long run. I got to break this survival mentality. So I think I think it's good that it's happening. It's trash the way that it's going down, but I think that it's creating some good conversations in the household, things that you never thought about before.
It's either going to make you or break you, because like you said, you can use this as a learning tool, because those who are depending on this money, like a lot of us were, if you didn't do your taxes right or you did something under the table, this should teach you a lesson. Next time I'm going to do it the right way, because nobody was expecting this to happen. And a lot of us were depending on that money. And now they're going to have to go through different avenues just to see where their money is so that they can get it. Let's use this as a learning tool. That's right. Like, I didn't even think about that before you brought that up.
So just thinking like you said, lady who got the 7 kids as an example. Yeah, like you still get a tax return even if you didn't work with filing your kids. Yeah, you would probably only got minimal 5,000 or 6,000 each year for only getting the max for those 3 kids. But this year, you would have did well. You would have got 500 per kid plus your 1,200 if you would have did right to begin with.
Right.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lesson going forward, because if we stay in quarantine for a couple more months, they won't have to give up some more money.
Right.
So even if they got it wrong this time, they can still fix it and get it right for the next wave.
Right. I will say they do have a link now, because what the government can't do is leave anybody out. So they had to make it a way that homeless people could get money, like everybody. So there is actually a link that you could click, or a sheet that you could print out on the IRS website, and you hit, it's like a non-filers form. So it's pretty much saying, I didn't file my taxes, but this is who I have in my household, blah, blah, blah. So you can still get that money. It's a longer process, but it's something you can do. So that's going to propose another question, though, like for the people who do fill that out, who had other people file their kids, like, are they going to be paying double, or is they going to go back and be trying to snag money from people who already got paid?
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, again, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff to sort through. And just a quick side note, did y'all see the guy that they put $8 million in his account in New York? accidentally.
Oh, that
the
was
other day.
real?
Yeah,
I thought
they,
that was like a hoax.
they gave him 8 million. I mean, they caught it, but but instead of 1,200, they gave him 8 million. So it's a lot of
Wow.
glitches in the system.
Oh man, I think I would have ran and took out
Me
quite a
too.
bit real quick.
Like yes, give me that blessing.
Look at
I
God.
would
Look at
cash
God.
out
Won't he do?
everybody $1,000. Cash up everybody $1,000. Hey, I just
Right.
send you 800 back.
Look at God,
And
right?
then the government gonna be like, we need that money back.
Yeah, like right now.
Right.
Okay, well, thank you all so much, and for everyone out there who are watching, their show is highly informative and entertaining. Can one of y'all tell me a little bit about your show?
So Confess It is a platform where we want you to do exactly that, to confess it. It's a private group because we want you to feel safe in the space to be truthful and, you know, actually use your words to communicate how you feel, all of that stuff. And we give you topics to jump off the conversation. So we have, for every Friday night we come together, we do a live because we want to hear back from you. We want to include you in the conversation. And we do a lot of taboo topics just to create that conversation within your home, maybe things you've never thought about. So we throw those topics out there and we get the conversation going, try to include you. And even if you don't want to participate, we just hope that it turns something within you to like have open and honest conversations within your household.
Right. The whole thing is to create an atmosphere that's judgment free. We want you to be yourself unapologetically, and we want you to join in on these conversations. You may not agree with everything that we have to say. That's okay. The whole point is to have these conversations so that we can bridge this gap between different ways of thinking.
And what day and time is your show, and how can people like check y'all out?
So every Friday, our show is at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also have late night confessions on Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights, that can go anywhere between 9:30 p.m. or 10 p.m. It's all Central Standard Time. Tuesday nights are our confessionals where we go live for about 30 minutes, and everything after that, we delete. That live is deleted.
Which platform?
Oh, Facebook. Right now it's Facebook.
Yeah, we go live on Facebook, but do follow us on Instagram. We're trying to incorporate both of them. But just go on Facebook. That's where our platform that we utilize the most is right now. So just go into your groups, type in Confess It, and hit to be requested added to the group. There are 3 questions you have to answer. If you don't answer these questions, we will not allow you to come in because we want to make sure we keep this a safe environment for everybody.
Well, thank you all so much for the conversation. Hopefully I can have y'all back on again soon. Y'all have time to join me again, and don't spend all your stimulus money in one place.
Right?